What's good, y'all? This is Sai from the OFC podcast, and we are BYKE with episode 2 formally, though this is our 4th episode in reality. While I was not in attendance today, the boys did go over the Eva 2.0 movie, as well as manga recommendations. Since I wasn't able to attend, I think I'm going to tack on a small rant at the end about my thoughts of the movie, because I got a lot of thoughts. So be on the lookout for that at the end. Enjoy.
Should we introduce ourselves? Hi, my name is Haash.
My name is Ellie.
Who hungry? It's your boy Hungry.
And welcome to the Otaku Fight Club podcast.
Before we start recording, yes, is he going to show up?
I don't know if he's going to show up. You have to
Simon, with his current situation, he's probably not going to get here. So you have us now.
God, I love Roman.
So before we started recording, I was explaining to the group this manga that me and my other friend have been reading called Oyasumi Punpun, and how it explores the ideas of nihilism and existentialism through a broken home and how it's impacted the main character. It follows the main character from his, I guess, childhood until his young adulthood, from when he's 7 or 6 or 5 until probably 4, actually 4 until, or 5, I'm not sure, but 5 until the late 20s or his early 20s. And man, is it brutal. It is so visceral. It is so, oh man, I'm even getting emotional talking about it. But damn, bro, it just hits the feels because it's so real. Yeah, and it's a kind of a case study on how trauma and your, I don't know, just how your childhood shapes you at the end of the day, right? And how even how it affects the other members in the family, right?
So my question is what makes it real? Is it because it's so descriptive? Is it because
it's very honest? And I think the author does it really, or the mangaka, I guess would call him to be respectful, is he the dialogue for each stage of his life, right? I guess would be the best, or would be the most accurate display of that character's maturity level and how he's realizing himself and his identity through those stages of life, right? So you can see how he thinks as a 7-year-old, right? And how he's realizing certain concepts about the world and how idealistic he is, and you kind of see how his optimism kind of disappears as he grows older, right? And he's trying to come to terms as to why his family's broken, why his mother is distant, right? Why his father just sends him notes, right? His role model in the manga is his direct role model was his uncle, right? But his uncle lives by himself. It's very interesting, and you see him interact with his school friends and stuff like that, how he deals with romantic relationships through each stage, right? And he's the manga is very, very what is it called? Self-reflective. So the inner dialogue is very strong, and it's I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. That's all. I'm only on chapter 70 right now, or 72, somewhere.
I'm only on chapter 70.
Well, it's 140 plus chapters, so I'm halfway.
Oh, that's a good read.
Context. This man had an existential breakdown 2 days ago. Talking about this.
He did,
no,
didn't
you read
he was
this
in
stuff, bro?
Discord.
Dude, hear me out, bro. You read this shit, right? And you wanna just treat people better, because you see how you through the manga, you see how you can get so beat down by the world, so just crushed, your spirit. This guy had no I don't know, I feel I think we think of our childhoods as happier times, right? But a lot of it, you trip and fall. There's a lot of moments in your childhood where you're man, that was unfair, right? Why is this happening to me, right? Right? And those are learning moments in your life, right? Lessons. And it's you go through that with this character. And another fun part of this manga is everybody else kind of looks like human, right? But the character, the the immediate family of the main character are all shaped on like birds,
What?
right?
What?
Yeah, dude, it's different. This guy is such a great storyteller. I should probably know his name. Let's see.
I got you. His name is Inio Asano. I said it in Spanish, but yeah, it's basically that.
Asano Inio or Inio Asano. Yeah,
Inio Asano. Yeah.
yeah, and I got acquainted with this with like Jiguk doing like an anime review, or like was it
Mm.
Anime Man? One of those guys. They did a
Mhm.
review on this manga, and they were discussing why it potentially never be an anime, and I kind of get it. The art style is so different and like unorthodox that it'd be hard to capture the real essence of the manga, or did like to translate the feelings that the manga portrayed in the anime, just of like how it's drawn, and
Mm.
maybe even some of the concepts. Like some of the concepts are like really dark. But hey, never know.
If you were to see the Barnes and Noble overview for it, it just like you're gonna go down a scary and very emotional wild ride. It starts off with a dark coming of age tale where slice of life slices back. Like fam, like
Yo.
right there, like you're just saying, like, you know what? Nah, man, fuck your feelings, man. We're gonna springe. We're just gonna squeeze the happiness out of you.
So trigger warning, it does like use some tool, like I don't know. Okay. It does talk about, like, it does reference, it does display ideas and feelings of suicide a lot in this
Oh
manga.
god, damn.
So it gets really dark. So, and then if
Yikes.
you're like, yeah, if you're very sensitive to that type of stuff, I don't highly recommend it. But like, hey man, it's a great story. Great story.
Nah, dude.
Oh dude, just the
I'm
lonely.
scared, but I'm gonna read it though. I'm probably gonna start tonight.
Like I'm not that like adept with like the ideas of like I'm very like shallow when it
Mhm.
comes to like uh, knowing about like nihilism and like existentialism. But like, bro, I'm pretty sure this shit just stems from like loneliness,
Hmm.
right? Because like I don't know, like if you're from like a really strong communal background, right?
Right.
How many times in your life, other than like when it's like around death, are you really thinking about like ending, like not your own existence? When are you having like an identity crisis, right?
Mm. You have to be. That's a hard question to ask.
It is a hard question.
Yeah.
It is a hard
Yeah.
question. It is a hard question. I don't know. This manga definitely makes you question things like,
So yeah. So from what I'm seeing is basically like read like 10 chapters and then you just sit down and just like
yeah, yeah,
just just cook with it, just slow, just like a slow pressure cooker or whatever. You just sit with it
Make
and
sure
just
you
like
got some chicken noodle soup with you.
there are some. Okay, so
yeah.
like when the character, okay, so there are like, I don't want to spoil it. How do I, dude? I wish I was better at the art of like saying stuff without saying
Without
stuff.
saying stuff.
I respect
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
Sales, my friend, sales.
I know what you mean, man.
yeah. But there are very like brutal moments in this manga where you're like, hold up, this character, that's all they wanted, right? At the end of the day, but they
Right.
never got it, right? So it's like a lot of like unrequited like journeys that happen in this manga, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's also another part that makes it seem very, very real. Because like you can wish and dream about something your whole life and never get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Something,
true. Shit.
having a nice family, having having a strong family unit, right? Like people like yearn for that so much, and then like boom, it's gone, right? For whatever reason, and it's like, damn, bro. They have, like, imagine. Okay, you know what? I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
No,
But
man, because you're making me think about shit right now, so you gotta stop.
yeah.
Well, let's switch lanes.
All right, all
Yeah, man,
right.
you're
So,
mad emotional right now. I'm kidding.
so, uh, I had a question for you guys. What other?
Yes.
So I've been reading Oyasami Punpun, but I recently finished Odd Taxi, right?
Mm.
What are other series that you guys are currently watching or reading?
Oh shit.
To be honest,
So
I'm catching up with Odd Taxi just so we can discuss it because this is amazing. And if you haven't
I'm
gotten
telling
to it,
you.
Hungry, you gotta get to it, man.
I watched
It's
the
worth
first
it.
3 episodes, but because I'm watching so many things right now, I
Mm.
paused it.
Mhm.
It has a good start.
Mhm.
I'll say that.
Okay.
I am a little curious as where the story goes, to
Right.
be completely honest. But
Okay.
like, I'm watching way too many things that I'm trying to stop other things or finish things and then pick up on
I totally
other things I'm
understand how
trying to
you
finish.
feel. I understand that was basically me with like this journey of rewatching One Piece because I'm a degenerate and a piece of shit, and I skipped a lot of things, especially important things. And then whenever I see something new, and they're like, "Oh, that makes so much sense," I feel so guilty and so bad. Like I just shame myself for it. But I think that was my issue as well because I was watching so many things and like I just didn't feel like going through like 500 episodes just to catch up. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go skip through arcs and just read something in the wiki and then just keep it moving, you know.
Exactly.
But so far, I've taken things one at a time, and since I'm taking a break from One Piece, I just watched everything and caught up to everything, and I'm just watching Hot Taxi, man. It's a great journey. It's really good.
Because right now I'm rewatching what is it, Darling in the Franxx,
Mm.
because I had a conversation with Sai and another one of our Discord mates
Shout out
on
to Morgoth.
the twist and stuff like that, and so I'm trying to see exactly how much they hinted at the twist. But I'm like 9 episodes in, and they still haven't talked about the twist, which
Mhm.
we'll have a whole episode on that if you
I
Yeah,
guys
tried
yeah,
watching.
yeah,
finish watching it.
yeah. I
tried
gotta
watching
watch
the
it.
dub.
Then I'm watching like the weeklies, like the My Heroes, the Standing on a Million Lives, and
Mm.
stuff like that. And then what else am I watching? Let me pull up my list. Uh,
Standing
then
on a Million Lives is good.
I'm rewatching
Mhm.
Shaman King again.
Okay.
That's good.
And
On
so
Netflix
that's
or just
no,
like?
I'm watching it on a 9 anime,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
but it is
Vibes.
the newest version.
It's a little different from like the OG. Like
Yeah, the
they
art
dress
style is definitely
differently.
different.
Yeah, yeah. I watched an episode and I'm like, because I loved like the introduction of Trey. Like I
Mhm.
don't know, that's just like the inner nostalgia in me. Like I'm like, oh man, this is such a fire. Like I don't know, it seemed a little
I
bit
think that's what it is
underwhelming.
for me. Straight nostalgia
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. And I'm like, what? He also looks different. Also, does he go by Horo or whatever his name was? No, no
Yeah,
disrespect. Or does he go by Trey? Because like the original like English dub, he had a different name, and his name was
yeah. I'm
Trey.
watching the sub.
Oh, the sub. Okay,
Ah,
okay, 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 okay. Okay.
I don't understand how you do dubs, bro. Like,
It's look, man. Look. If I get the choice, I'm lazy and I do dub, right? Because I
yo,
don't.
that's disgusting.
It is. It is. It is. It is.
you know what? I'm
But
gonna be honest with you. Sometimes dub is the way. It just depends. You gotta listen to at least like you gotta at least watch 2 episodes with dub and to see if it's actually worth it or not. Because there are some voices that you just can't picture with
So
the character.
yeah.
what I do is I'll watch my first viewing will always be in a sub,
Mm.
and
Okay.
then depending on what I'm doing with it, so like with whatchamacallit, with Darling in the Franxx, since I've already seen it in sub, I'm watching it in dub just to get through faster because I want to see
That's tough.
like how things are. Yeah, the voice acting is, oh god, especially if you've seen sub, it's hard.
Mm.
But
I didn't even see sub, bro. I just went into the dub and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm gonna.
right, that's why you gotta go sub. Sub is like, I don't know if it's like how to explain it. It's the best way I can say is like it's a lot softer in sub, which adds to the anime.
Yeah.
Because like if you well, you haven't seen it, but like for those who've seen it, they know like the first stretch of that anime is a great story. And like the sub adds to that because I think it grounds everything.
I
With the dub, it's just like who are these people? Like
yeah.
Can I like add on to that? Sorry, Ellie. But
You're,
do you guys remember Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the real version, the
yeah.
live action?
Yeah.
Okay. When I watched that movie, like when I watched it like how many years ago? 10 years ago was it like now or is it like 13, 14? It's been a minute.
I think it's been 20 over 20. No,
No way, it's been 20,
I
bro.
think it's like 15,
Oh,
15.
I
I'm
was
gonna say
6,
15.
fam.
All right, it's been a minute, right? It's been a minute, and like the same way I feel like watching dubbed right anime now, like with
Mm-hmm.
Darling in the Franxx, just a really bad dub, is the same feeling I got watching the live action, right?
Oh, it's
It
11 years.
seemed, bro, it seemed like a dubbed version, right, of a movie.
And the
Isn't that
worst
nuts?
part, like, yeah, but the worst part of the Avatar Last Airbender is they got the names wrong. And that was like the whole time I was watching, I was cringing in the movie theaters. Like, there's only been two movies that have ever made me cringe, like internally cringe. It was Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Suicide Squad.
Hold up, I got another one for you, bro.
What's
Dragon
up?
Ball Evolution.
I never saw that in theaters, so I was
Oh,
one of the lucky ones. But
okay.
Oh, dude, are we going there? Oh God.
because I saw that on the TV and I was like, "Yo, this is trash," so I switched it. But but like in movies, like you you could feel like your inside just like, what the fuck is this? Oh
Yeah,
god. Ugh.
yeah.
I
But
want
like
to. I
yeah,
want to
that's
rewatch
what it
it.
feels like watching
I want
a
Dragon
dub
Ball.
Darling in the Franxx.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. Now what were you saying? You want to rewatch Dragon Ball
Yeah, I
Evolution?
want to rewatch Dragon Ball because I just want to see what went through their minds when they thought, you know what, this is a great idea. Let's just do live actions like this.
It was a cash grab. That's all it was.
It really
We all
was.
know it
It really was.
I'm gonna research how much money they made from that.
because there was no way they could do that.
I feel like bad movies still make money.
That
And then
is
sometimes
very
they get
true.
the what is it, the cult classic shit? Like
Yeah,
what's that one movie like where everybody
the room,
knows it's
the room.
yeah, that's what it was. Everybody knows it's trash, but still everybody loves it for some reason.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Imagine watching a movie. You just like it's trash, but you're still gonna watch it and you're gonna find some way to enjoy it just because. I can't.
Isn't
I couldn't give somebody that type of credit, man.
that called like hate watching or something like that? Is that what it's called?
What? What happened?
Hate watching? Is
Yeah.
that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Is it hate
Alright.
watching? It's like watching a train wreck, if anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you're watching it to see it fail. Like, oh, look how bad this is.
Oh,
Right?
then you're just a depraved person if you do something for that.
I'm personally not that type of watcher, at least with films. At least with
Nah,
films.
I think hey, watching there has to be like more purpose than just watching it just because. Especially if you bought the damn movie. Oh my God.
Oh, bro, if you're one of the people who bought like Avatar: The Last Airbender on DVD, like I have so many questions. First,
If you bought it
why
to
do you hate
collect, it's
yourself?
fine. Yeah. If you bought it to collect it, like just like, oh, I got this piece of shit here, then it's fine. But no, I would
If you bought
never.
it as a fan, bro.
Hold up, did it come out during DVD era?
Yeah, it was
Check.
2010 when it came out.
Oh, okay. So like that's okay. So at that time, I feel like people just rented movies they didn't go out to see, right? So
So
like,
I think that
go
was
ahead.
right when Netflix started like the red box when they used to have like
Oh,
the big
yeah,
boxes and they used to send the stuff to you. It was right before they became a streaming service, I think.
that's
Yeah.
right. You're
The
right.
Last Airbender.
Did you
It's
guys
in
like ever use it back
Blu-ray and
then?
DVD. Robin?
My parents did. I never used it. That's the thing because I think I just like never cared to use it because there was no movies I wanted to like rent at that time, and so
The
Damn.
technology back then was intimidating.
Yeah. I think Redbox, the only time I ever used it was to like rent games. And my dumbass would just forget to bring it back the next day or whatever. God.
that
I
was
had
me
to
with
pay that
Blockbuster.
freaking. Oh my God. I would have rather just stayed with that and just let that shit just charge me the full game after a month. God, man.
Speaking of
I work.
So
Blockbuster,
annoying.
I still have my Kingdom Hearts 2 rental that I rented from Blockbuster.
Oh, you're
Never
a
gave it back.
degen. You still have the
Hunter,
case and everything, the Blockbuster case?
Yup.
Dude, you could probably sell that for some money, man.
I probably
I ain't gonna
could.
hold you, dog. I was gonna check that out, but I
hold
doubt.
up, hold up. Did they use your credit card or did they like
Nah, because
find your
back then,
fees?
like what is it? You could pay with cash with rentals, stuff like that. So
Yeah,
what happens is I paid like I think it was $12 for the rental, and then left, and then just never brought it back. And so like I remember them sending the you got to pay this much for the rental, and I was like, all right, trash.
dude. There's a guy selling it for $37 right now. But
just
no,
the
man,
case.
that's Canadian. Hold on, I mean that's Canada money.
They're selling the case.
Yeah, dude, there's one for. Well, never mind. This it's Canada money. Why is it showing Canada money? Show me U.S. money. Uh, shit. Let's see if I can fix. Let me see if I can fix this. Continue
Alright.
though.
Has this ever occurred to you, or has this ever happened to you? Better question. Where your parents rent the movie, right? And
Mhm.
then like everybody like forgets to return it, right? Everyone forgets, but they blame you. They blame you.
Okay, I've never been blamed because
Because
I
you're
never
the one
had a
that
car.
rented
I
it,
could never
or
get
you
it.
wanted
Yeah,
to
it's
rent
like
it.
it was
Yeah.
your movie. You chose the movie. Why didn't you? I'm like, I don't drive. I'm like 12 years
Exactly.
old.
They can't blame you, bro.
That happened to me
Be
when
But I
we
was
lazy.
blamed,
rented.
bro. I was blamed. I'm like, how do I was gaslit?
For real, no, big facts. That happened to me when I rented NBA 2K like 17 or maybe
Yeah.
18. I rented it, and like normally what my family would do every Sunday would go out. We would not go out, we'd go to like to my grandmother's house and eat. So a lot of people would come over and we
Mhm.
just play 2K in the living room and stuff. And the thing is that I left the copy over there, right? Well, I would say that I left it. I would say that my dad left it because he didn't want me to take the PlayStation home. So we just basically left the damn thing there, right? And next day he realizes that I don't have the PlayStation, and he's like, "Ah, I forgot about it. We left it over there. Okay, fine, whatever." He doesn't. He's not talking about the game. Whole week passes. It's next Sunday. They see my cousin still playing 2K. I was like, "Wait a minute. Are we supposed to bring that back?" He puts all the blame all on me. Mind you, I was still pretty young. I couldn't drive yet, and
Yeah. Like, what did they expect us to do? Like, take it out
no, yeah, like take it out
when
or
it
go
was
to my
locked or
grandmother's house
something?
and get it. I wasn't even thinking about that either because hey, I'll be forgetting shit.
Yeah,
So I just kept on going through the day.
like they expected us to walk it
Gotcha.
back to Blockbuster, turn it on our
Yeah,
own
and they're
time.
like, yeah, like
But
it's nothing.
if we left the house,
Shit.
they'd be on our ass. Like, come on, bro.
Nah, man. Great times. Oh, dude, I remember. Now that I was mentioning that, there's a place where we used to rent stuff was Video Avenue. Dude, they had a whole section. Like, I don't know why they thought that. Okay, we have the adult section, right? So you got the back doors and all that stuff. You can go over there and you can find your stuff. But what we would just put right here, right next to the video games, put all the hentai.
Hold up, they have hentai
Yeah,
back
they
then?
had hentai. They had hentai DVDs.
What?
At least the
Wow,
place that
bro.
I was at, it was right next to the video games. Like you have the adult section, like literally right behind the door. These women's is naked in these fucking covers, and you got kids running around looking at this, like dead ass.
They
Like
just didn't give a fuck, bro.
before they closed the store, I was like trying to see if they had any games like they were selling and stuff or whatever because they would just send that shit for the low.
Uh,
And when I went over there, you see just a kid just like looking at it behind it, and he's looking at the different ones while their parents are looking like at the action section and some stuff like that. Like, fam, like Blockbuster doesn't do stuff like this. Like, why are you doing this, fam?
they just didn't give a fuck.
Nah, they
Like,
didn't
no,
care, man. Nah, shout out to Redbox though, man. Shit,
shout
they did
out, bro.
something.
Oh,
Shit,
so this is
protected
a
the
this is a good
kids.
question. Well, what were your like? Okay, so obviously there was anime in
Right.
Blockbuster. So what were your like some of your early like memories of like renting anime?
Ooh, so I don't even know if it was considered anime. Pokemon.
Pokemon's anime.
Oh, you rented
Okay, well,
Pokemon?
yeah, because I rented all the like. So
The
I
movie?
had two places to rent Pokemon from. I had the library, and then
Mm-hmm.
I had Blockbuster. And so what would happen is my friends would come over, they'd sleep over, and then we would just marathon through all the
Oh,
Pokemon
dude,
episodes that we rented or got from the library.
that sounds fun as hell.
Yeah, it
I've
was.
never done that in the library. Like Puerto Rico, you can't just go to the library and rent shit, but well, that would have been dope.
Because well, we do it back at my house, but like we'd rent from the library, and then like while we're doing that, we're playing the Pokemon game. Like it was back
Hmm.
when Pokemon was like first coming out, so everybody was big on it.
Right.
Bro, the
How
shit
about
must be so much fun.
how about you, Hash?
So early on, it was just Dragon Ball Z and like Yu Yu Hakusho
Right.
episodes and movies. I loved like what was it? The Cooler movie, Legendary,
Right.
Revenge of Cooler, Broly. I think I bought that.
Let's
And
go.
like my introduction to like mature anime was Ninja Scroll. Do you guys know what
Mm.
that is?
No, I'm not familiar with that. What is that?
It's like a classic '90s anime where it's like a bunch of like ninjas killing each other.
Mm.
Yeah, it was pretty graphic, and my like 11-year-old Ash shouldn't have been watching it like that. But hey, did you
At
guys? Okay,
11.
so
Mhm.
this is a tangent, right? But so I think when I was like 12 and 13, Death Note was coming out in like graphic novels or mangas, right?
Right.
And I remember like binging it, right? And I became like, I wouldn't call myself emo, just dark, a very dark individual. I was mean mugging my parents. I was like, is your life worth it?
Haash, what?
That's wild, bro. See, I never had that because when my first foray into Death Note was I was later in life, so I was like 16, 14, 15, 16
Right.
Right.
when they were actually showing it through Toonami.
Mm.
And for me, I was just hyped because like at that time I was intrigued by the game that they were playing, like the will he catch him, will he not, and the fact that they're friends, their alter egos are friends, but then the bad people, Light's bad, and then L's good. Like it was a lot of fun for me because I'd be hyped on like Fridays and Saturdays.
I
No,
bet.
Saturday nights when Toonami would do its Toonami run.
It was like our drama, I guess, as kids to watch that. Nah, I think my damn shit. The one that I
Those are
probably binged, because I started anime really late, man. That's the thing. Like I watched as a kid and stuff, like Toonami and stuff. But even though I had internet, I never like it never came to my mind like, wait a minute, I have access to go to all like to watch all this anime and stuff like that, or try something out, or actually watch Naruto, because the first time I ever watched Naruto was in fucking Toonami, and I just didn't go forward with it. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I think the first thing I've watched completely was Dragon Ball, all the way to GT, and that was it.
Oh wow!
you binged
That was
it?
like like at 15 or 14, the same
Right,
site where I used to watch movies and shit.
right.
See,
But
because for me,
yeah.
like I used to read Naruto
Mhm.
before I watched it on Toonami.
Right.
Because Barnes and Nobles would have the Shonen Jumps,
Yeah.
and then it would have like the single well, not the single chapters, but like the single books of Naruto.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
would just go through those real quick.
I
Just so
got
much fun.
I got clowned by my family because I was buying them shits. So that's
Why?
why I think my mom only bought me one, and then
Huh?
after that, she didn't buy me another one. And
See,
dude, I can remember the exact fucking chapter of Naruto that was in that Shonen Jump. It
so
was right before when they're doing the Guinea exams,
Yeah.
yeah.
before they find like when they find the bodies before they go inside the forest.
Mm.
It's that
Of
exact chapter. Yeah.
the ones that Orochimaru and them
Yeah,
survived.
where Orochimaru pops up and all that. It was
Oh,
that
okay.
exact chapter. I still remember it to this fucking day, man.
How did your
Damn.
parents shame you, bro? Because I have a
Because it's
similar
My
like,
like
parents were happy I
hey,
was
like
just
while
reading.
you're
That's
looking
all it
at
was,
these
bro.
Japanese cartoons and that typical thing, like you gotta understand, like Puerto Ricans are pretty ignorant, especially if they're
nah,
straight from the island, because they don't experience the world that much, I guess. And me,
yeah.
because the first time I ever bought that was here in the States.
Mhm.
But whenever I started bringing like those kind of antics of like, oh, I like these Japanese stuff, like I like this Japanese culture, I like the anime, I like these cartoons and stuff. Like later throughout my time, it's like kind of weird. Like, why would this 18, 19-year-old be watching cartoons? You know, when you have
Mm.
all these crazy series of drug dealers and just all this crazy stuff going on. Like, why is he watching cartoons, right? And they would just shame me for it, man.
They should be happy you're not out there doing the drugs and drug
Yeah,
dealing.
bro.
Listen, listen. If they just understood, man, that's a whole other topic, man. I don't want to get into my traumas. Let's keep on
I
going.
get you.
Okay, so my parents shamed me in a very interesting way. So like growing up, my dad was kind of like uh dismissive of
Mhm.
cartoons as a medium as a whole. He
Right.
would call it they're puppets. I'm like, Dad, they're not puppets. It's like, yo, there's somebody's like hand is in there. I'm like, Dad, these are drawings.
Why would your dad think that we're puppets?
Because he treated everything like he thought we were just watching Sesame Street. I'm like, where were you?
This is animated. It's different.
He
See, that's
didn't
hilarious because
care. He did, bro. My dad is a different animal, bro. And for years, bro. Imagine this. My immigrant ass dad, right? Thought the
uh,
word humble was an insult, right? Like if you said like I'm a humble guy, he's like, you're humble? You're humble? Respect yourself, please.
It's,
Oh my god. See, my parents were never like that. They're just like, for me, they were just happy I was reading, because I was one of those kids. I never wanted to read. I started reading when I was later, but like the only thing I would read was like the Naruto anime mangas.
Right.
And so they're like, "Holy shit, this nigga's reading! I bet let's buy more."
Now that you mentioned that, for all the adults that are listening and the people that are growing up now and are planning to have kids, teach your kids to read just so they don't grow up stupid.
100%.
Wait, you call me stupid?
No, not that. No,
Hey,
I'm saying now. I'm saying now, like now, while they're growing up, teach them to read and to learn the value of reading books.
Yeah,
and
my
stuff.
parents wanted me to read. I just didn't want to. And
Oh,
then as soon as they saw me reading,
I loved reading as a kid. It
they
was
said, "All right, we're not going to
great.
stop this. Just let them keep reading."
I read the whole Alex Rider series, the fucking Artemis Fowl stuff.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
never get into those.
you know what's interesting? Like people are now saying like kids that are like they read a lot, use it to avoid social interactions. So they're like antisocial.
Vibes.
Oh
Vibes.
wow,
It makes sense. It makes sense.
never heard that.
Well, see, here's my issue. The neighborhoods I used to live in, like there weren't a lot of kids just outside around, you know. So
Okay.
I'd be going outside trying to find somebody to play with and stuff or whatever, and there was nobody around. I was like, well, I don't have a choice. I might as well stay locked up in my room, fucking reading or playing video games.
For me, I see
So-
that now because like back when I was growing up, everybody was outside.
But now
Oh,
it's different because kids
all
are
the kids were
programmed.
outside.
Dude,
And
kids
then
are
now, like
wired.
nobody's outside. It's
Yeah.
weird.
this is true, somewhat.
I think the
guess
only
it just
time where I
depends
saw
on the
people.
neighborhood.
Nah.
Like, it depends on like the neighborhood you're in, right?
Yeah, how do I say this? If you have neighbors and like you have longtime neighbors and like you guys invite each other's like cookouts and stuff, and you guys have kids, eventually like they're forced to be together. They're forced to do things outside. But
Yeah.
if you go to a new neighborhood and everybody's just locked in, and even if your kid goes outside or whatever, he's gonna feel like it's gonna feel kind of weird, you know, like damn, I got nobody to play with. And his only choice is to be inside, be with his parents, and just be either in the tablet or in something else, and just.
But it's not just that. It's because of how technology has advanced, especially our gaming stuff. Because
Mhm.
back when we were growing up, gaming was a one-person thing, unless you were lucky enough to have multiplayer. Because it was early in the gaming experience, so they didn't have like the capabilities it has now. Now these kids are playing with their friends, but they're just inside. So like they'll be talking to like what we're doing right now. We're talking on Discord.
Yeah.
They'll be doing that while they're playing video games or having an experience.
Yeah, I don't think it's healthy though. To be honest, I love it, but it has to. They gotta find a balance for this.
Yeah, there's a healthy amount of escapism, but if it's just too much,
That's the issue I have with my little brother. He's growing up dumb. I love him, but he's growing up dumb. I can't deal with that.
I think
Like,
it's just like the social interactions are.
Yeah,
they're losing.
I might be woefully stupid, but I can't let my little brother be woefully stupid because he's trying to imitate every little thing that I did, even the bad things over there.
oh no.
And indirectly, I think my willful stupidity is turning to actual stupidity with him. So I gotta find a way to fix that now.
Get him into anime.
No, he's already watching.
Oh,
He's already watching. I think whenever my dad came to the States, I gave my dad I sent him basically I think a Gojo Satoru like figurine I bought in the K-pop store, and he's in love with it. He's like really hyped with it and stuff.
That's what's up.
So I'm probably gonna buy him I gotta find the right manga to send him because I don't want to send him like crazy gory violent shit. He's only 11, 12. It's kind of weird because I was like watching a lot of crazy shit as an 11-year-old and 12-year-old, but I don't want to have him go down that path. I want him to be like more smart with it, you know.
Completely understand. Send him Osumuna, Punpun.
No, I'm not gonna have no. That's gonna be a mess.
Have him rethinking life at the age of 12. He's like, what the fuck?
Nah, man, I don't know.
It could potentially hurt, but I'm not saying.
No, that's gonna harm him like crazy. I don't want him to go through that shit. Oh no. After eating that, a slice of life that slices back. Nah, fam. No. That's gonna be a horrible.
That's deep, bro. That's deep.
Has he read any of the Naruto's? Because that would be a good starter for him.
He's watched most of it already, so I think making him read that wouldn't be appropriate. Like he's
Hook him,
already like ahead.
hook him up with all the webtoons that you read.
Solo leveling. Oh my god, you're a
Solo
genius,
leveling.
Ash. Jesus Christ, that's what I'm gonna do.
Or
Yeah,
God of
bro.
High, not God of
I'm gonna make him
Tower of
read.
God. Ooh.
Why hasn't Tower of God started making
The anime.
Season
volumes?
2.
No volumes.
Oh,
Oh.
volumes? I don't know. Maybe they want to stay with like the format of keeping it online.
I think that's most like manhwas, but I'm not too familiar with
No,
manhwas.
so solo leveling is making physicals already,
Oh, word?
and it's totally worth it. And they gotta get their shit together with Japan and stuff, especially with all the stuff that's like in the light novel. Hopefully they go by the webtoon and there's no issue. So that's gonna be something interesting. But
I mean,
yeah,
Ready.
oh,
no,
okay.
what do you say, Hash?
I didn't. I heard Craig. Did it stop?
Oh no,
No,
that was
it's
me. I said
Oh,
I'm ready.
already.
oh, okay. All right. So, from what I understand, Tower of God like debuted on Webtoons,
Yeah,
right? And
Mhm.
solo leveling is separate, right? Because I don't
yeah.
see it on Webtoons.
I think somebody actually I think there's actually a site that holds it, but I don't know where it is exactly. I saw
No, I'm
somebody
saying.
talking about they have like 5 chapters unlocked or something like that.
Oh, okay,
Isn't
okay.
that
So
usually
yeah,
like
it's really
Slim?
easy. It's really easy finding all the unlocked chapters online. Somebody's uploading it on their site, right?
That's what's
We
up.
Dedicated just to that series, and they're
yeah.
making income from that, which is a shady business, but it's the internet. It is what it is, right?
Quick
But
side note. Shout out to all the people who do that. I love y'all. Thank you for keeping it free play.
Also,
Uh,
shout out to the people that support the creators. So
also that.
that's
in the
actually
middle,
a nice topic that we could have for the next one because that's a
for
lot
sure.
that we can get into.
Yeah,
God,
'cause it's a thin line. It's like you want to
it's
support the creators, but then
yeah. You also don't want to. Let's not get into it.
What if Webtoons is making more money from their subscription service, right?
Yeah,
Than making hard copies of their like series, right?
yeah. Mhm.
'Cause,
Them
like,
it
ads sell.
depends. Like,
Those little
is
baby
Webtoons mostly
ads.
manhwas?
Yeah.
So I
And
don't. So
creator
what's
and like
the?
actual user made, like not from an actual like different author. Like you can actually put
Yeah.
stuff in Webtoon.
Oh, okay. So, well, my question would be: is it like Japan where most of their sales come from like the volumes and the mangas and stuff like that, or is
Magazines.
it uh, well, is the manhwas like Japan's model where they make more money from like the magazines, the mangas, and stuff like that than they do from the animes? Would it be the same way with manhwas, or is it a little bit
there's
different?
not too many manhwas that have turned into animes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So pretty like new enterprise in Korea.
Uh,
I mean, like there's been a lot of manhwas before, but like none that I've seen animated or
I've seen them. How do you call this? They did live actions of one of the manhwas,
oh, word?
they've done a
Which
like
one?
bunch of them.
like a dramedy, not like a dramedy or like a rom
Yeah, they're
com type.
no, they're rom-coms, dramedies, they're all that, bro.
Mm.
They're all that.
That's fire.
Because I know of three manhwas that have been turned into animes, and that's
Hmm.
Tower of God, God of High School, and then King's Avatar.
Oh, I
Which
heard that one too.
King's
It's pretty good,
Avatar,
right?
like season one was probably my
King's
favorite season.
Avatar, I thought King's Avatar was Chinese.
Is it Chinese? I thought it was Korean.
Let's look it up.
Yep. Oh shit, my phone did a
Excuse me for
kickflip.
being insensitive if I am.
No,
Well, how are you? Uh
it is King's Avatar.
oh, that's Chinese.
Yeah.
That's like they play a
Excuse
MOBA.
me, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Why? Nah, don't say it like that. Come on, you're good. Nah, yeah, it's actually yeah Chinese. I remember. I remember there was like a very big thing. They were making mad videos of it and stuff. That was gonna be pretty dope. I gotta watch that. Or
This
they
first
hyped it.
season's amazing. I haven't seen the second season yet.
Chinese animes are like slowly taking over. I mean, they're becoming more popular, not taking
They
over.
had dude. Their studios are making some fire. They're doing great. They're like they can be wonky in like some sort of scenes, but I don't know if it's because through COVID and stuff. But
Yeah.
they're doing great. If you guys
Well,
ever, Mhm.
no, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
if
ahead.
you guys ever watch like The Outcast, I think it's on Crunchyroll.
Mhm.
They do good with the like the fighting animation and stuff. I I don't know. Like I don't know if it's like it's like you know how censorship is in Japan. I'm sorry, in China right now and stuff. Like I don't know how they're probably going to continue with doing these types of things. You know, I'm pretty interested in seeing what comes out of China and also Korea whenever they decide to start animating.
I'm here for it.
So there's actually like 10. There's probably way more than 10, but there's been a lot of like manhwas or slash webtoons that have been adapted to live action shows.
Yeah.
Shows or movies?
Shows.
Oh, okay.
So one of them is called like The Man Living in Our House. Cheese in the Trap is very, very popular. Flower Boy Next Door.
Mm-hmm.
Boys Over Flowers. Let's see what else. Full House. Funny name.
Yeah.
Liar Game. I didn't know Liar Game was a manhwa. What?
I think I just saw that in the webtoon thing right now. I was just looking through it.
No, that's the crazy part. I even recommended Simon to read it, and he started reading it as well. I didn't know it was a manhwa. I thought it was Japanese the whole time. I thought it was a manga. Interesting.
What's the name again?
Liar Game.
Liar Game? Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Liar Game is kind of. It's like it's not a complete death match or like death or like what is that genre?
Battle Royale?
Death game / battle royale, right? Or
is it like what's that? Is it what's the one with the girl with the patch over her eye?
Oh, it's kind of like Kakegurui.
Kind of like that. Yeah, Kakegurui, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a group of people with a high amount of debt. This is just me like remembering what the what the manga is about or manhwa, what the manga is about, and they have to compete against each other at a chance to clear their debt. Right? And if they lose the game, they either die or they succumb to like massive amounts of debt, from what I remember. And they would
that sounds just like Kakegurui.
Yep. But it's not like one-on-one. It's like group settings.
Oh, wow.
You're competing against a group, and it's like people from all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
You have like a guy who's a boxer. The the main character is like a struggling college student, right? You have like I don't know, lawyers. You have just from all walks of life competing against each other.
That's
Accumulated massive amounts of debt. It's pretty good. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite like scening what's it called? Stories. Yeah.
I bet. Because
I'm gonna give it a shot.
That was a great show.
I gotta watch that one too.
One of my favorites.
No,
a lot of favorites, but
Dude, there was a Netflix series that I was obsessed with for like a week. That was like a K-drama. Is that what they call them?
What was it called?
I don't know. Korean drama. It sounds like right because they got
K-pop,
K-drama.
K-drama. What was it called? Because I think I probably might have watched it too.
Is this recent?
Yeah, well, within the last few months, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's it called? Send me the name.
Let me see. I'm looking for it. I'm going through Netflix right now.
I'm trying to get into it.
It's okay not to be okay.
We should get after this. We should get into the to the juicy part of Ava 2.22.
Well,
the second movie.
For sure. It was called Move to Heaven.
Move to Heaven. Google it here.
Yeah, it was about like a father. Well, it starts off with a father and son who clean all the. Well, so somebody dies, right? Like people die, right? People come and clean up their
the trauma cleaners. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's their occupation, and it just follows them. And then I don't want to spoil the story, but it develops.
It develops.
It sounds interesting. I read like a little bit of the like an overview of it, and yeah, I was gonna say that word, but I was like, I don't think it's appropriate, so I'm not gonna say something else. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. It's on Netflix, so
yeah,
definitely giving that a shot. So, guys,
to the meat and potatoes.
Ava 2.22. How do you guys feel? Especially you guys. I think you guys have watched the original and maybe watched the movies already and stuff.
I think it's an easier watch than the show. Personally, I like
I
how
like
it's
that.
broken.
I,
Go through
I
so
can
much
understand
quicker.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like this movie was a bridge for me. So like it's basically the setup for what's actually to come. And how do I say it? I hate the train wreck of emotions you get when like things are just going so great and then just things just turn left all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of saw like what happened with the Ava turning into an angel actually coming for some reason because it's like kind of weird like somebody would just give you like a whole entire Ava and then suddenly that shit happens.
Oh, before we go any further, spoilers for anybody who hasn't.
Oh, too late for that.
Spoilers. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
it. Mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah,
I want you to finish your point.
it really affected me the fact that like he like us like when we talked in the first episode about like for the Ava series
Hmm.
how we saw Shinji be all like this depressed and just like this basically this like little ball of sad negative emotions
Mhm.
and then just seeing him let loose and actually be and look and feel happy, and
Mhm.
then him being like that and seeing everybody else surround them like actually take that energy and use it as well to be happy and to change and try to look ahead
Mhm.
like for better times. It hurt me just seeing how it all just went to shit in a matter of like maybe 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, this was one of the ebbs of the of
Yeah,
life.
yeah. And we were talking about how like this probably reflects the like how a lot of these stories reflect the writer
Mhm.
or well the creator of these stories and such,
Mhm.
how it reflects like their life or their past and all that. It sucks, man. It really sucks. It really
Yeah.
sucks. It really sucks to have like 20 I mean like 30 days of pain and just solitude not solitude and just loneliness and then have one day of sunshine and happiness just to go back. I don't know, it's really it was really hard for me
Oh, okay.
like just
Yeah,
experiencing that.
I completely understand what you're going through, and that was one of the big things for me. Is like just the arc of this movie. It
Mhm.
was like, all right, we're starting off a new foot, bam, everybody's happy. You got Asuka. She's gonna be maybe a new love interest. She's doing the whole tsundere shit,
Right.
and he's feeling it. He's like, yeah, and then boom, she goes
Out of commission.
out of control.
Oh,
She goes out of control with the Ava. It becomes an angel, and he has to kill her himself. That's
but
yikes. Was it
I'm
a
sure
killer?
that was sent on purpose for that to happen. It wasn't that she lost control, right?
No, she because what is it? She was in a new Ava,
Right.
and it's just like I guess the her and the Ava weren't compatible, and so she
Damn,
lost
but to
control of it.
be absorbed, well, she wasn't fully absorbed, but well, well, technically, no, she wasn't. No, she
No,
wasn't absorbed. No, yeah, the one that got absorbed was Ray. Whenever the other angel came in
hmm
and took over.
but she did get eaten. That's the thing. That because she was fighting an angel, she
Right.
lost control, and then the angel ate her. No, did the angel eat her, or did the angel eat what's her name?
No, 8 Ray.
The glasses one.
No,
Somebody got eaten.
the glasses one was the one that got Shinji out of that holding area, like the
Yeah.
shelter. And it was Ray that got eaten because Ray tried to stop the angel because like her there's this word I can't really get to it, but just to say that her like her will to make sure that Shinji could have better days, she just went at straight at the angel so she could take it
hmm
down and stuff like that, but she really didn't have like a plan or a goal. She just wanted to take that shit out and it didn't work out.
Yeah, she
That's
she just
where
wanted to be. She went beast mode and everything instead of
yeah, and that's
let me
where
do whatever you can.
yeah, and that's where she got eaten. Oh, and then the glasses girl tried going beast mode and all that. They tried between them two
Mm,
to take care of it, but eventually they just couldn't.
yeah,
I
but
like I like how these like the angels and like all the stuff like the AT field and all the other power things are intertwined. It doesn't. There's not that much detail for it, but it's just interesting. There's always a challenge for them.
So one thing I was asking myself now and even when I was younger is,
Mhm.
so they know that regular artillery doesn't work. Why do they
They
keep
just keep
using
shooting.
it?
I don't
Like,
know.
do they have a budget they have to hit every battle, or like as soon as an angel drops, they should be like, all right, release the Avas, not let's shoot 30,000 bullets before
Oh,
we
not
drop the
even not
Ava.
even 30,000 bullets, dude. You know how many freaking nukes and hydrogen bombs they're probably
For
sending at
real,
them?
bro.
Dude, Ray came with a freaking missile and tried to blow the damn thing up and couldn't do anything. Actually, no,
It
she
makes me sense, bro.
she succeeded. Well, no, she didn't. She tried to get through, but she couldn't. Like it's insane the amount of stuff they just waste for no reason at all.
For
Like,
real.
what's the
Like
purpose?
if I was one of the people who like stuck in, I'd be asking questions. I was like, why are we shooting bullets if they don't work? Just send out the Avas. Wouldn't it be cheaper?
Now that you say that, I think there's probably like maybe a message behind it. It's like to see how um not how well yeah how helpless humans are without them adopting to using like the avas and stuff. I think that there has to be a message behind that, and I'm probably gonna research right after this.
Yeah,
Now that you
because
mentioned it, right? Because like I always had that like, damn, these keep on shooting, nothing happens. But
yeah, because like
I want to check that out.
if it like slowed them down, I
Hmm?
understood. Like it takes time for them to get into the Ava, so they need
Right?
a way to slow them down. But it doesn't
That
seem like it
doesn't.
slows them down at all.
They just steamroll through it.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing. And oh my god. There's a lot of little things, I guess, that just don't make sense, but they make sense somehow to the writer.
Hmm.
And I guess we just gotta research it, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he isn't an a-hole and hasn't talked about it or something. But there should be a message behind that. I feel like this person, oh, this writer, I forgot the name of him at the moment. I feel like he has he has a purpose for every little thing that he has done for these movies. It's not just simply like let me just do it because it looks cool. And if
Yeah.
it is that, I'm gonna be so mad.
That would be hilarious.
God.
But
But I really enjoyed it. This is great. It's
I think
again,
it
it's
was
like I said, you can see the budget.
Hideki Anno.
Yeah,
Hideki Anno. Yeah,
Hidekiano.
I know. There you go. Yeah.
yeah.
But so one thing we were talking about before we started, the love interest. I told you guys my feelings on the whole tsundere thing. Where
Mhm.
as of right now, like I'm dismayed. Is that the word? Dismayed, disillusioned.
Disillusioned. Okay, yeah, I see it.
'Cause,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
previously, I was like, all right, the tsunderes. I understand the push pull stuff, and now I'm just like kind of annoyed with it.
Mm.
And so I don't know, like it kind of threw me. I don't know, threw me off, but like was off putting. Like I was kind of happy when what happened.
What?
Just because I was
That's
starting to get
crazy.
annoyed with the whole tsundere character. I don't know if it's just me right now or
It,
what's
it,
going
it
on,
might it
but
might be the times. It might be because we're like. It might be the times. It might be
like,
because we were
Well,
just used to it too much.
but okay. Asuka's Sundar character is
mhm,
probably the most like acceptable, like compared to like
Mm.
the other like I guess pilots, right, or other uh, pilots of the what is it called,
Avis.
Avas.
the
Mhm.
Avas, right?
Mhm,
She's the one who had to work the hardest to get there.
mhm.
Like Shinji didn't want to be there. Like he's like I don't want
That's
this,
facts.
right? I don't want
Yeah.
this life. I'm not about this life, right?
Yeah.
So like so her attitudes are like well deserved, or what's
She,
another way to put this?
well, she is very similar to
Understandable.
Shinji. Yeah. She's
Yeah.
very
No, you're
similar
right.
to Shinji, but she's just like more she's actually accepted it. And she just goes with it. It's
No,
like
Hash
what
is right. Like, she did
Mhm.
work the hardest because I think
Oh
she's
yeah.
the only one who went through like all that crazy training
Hmm.
Yep.
compared to the rest of them. Like,
She was the
she
best
seems like
candidate.
she's the yeah. She seems like she's the most comfortable in the Avas compared to
Right.
everybody else.
Yeah.
But like, that's one thing that I think we've touched on a little is uh what's the difference like for people who are talented, just naturally talented in something, and
Hmm.
somebody who had to work their ass off. Like, at what point does one become more than the other, or like at what point can somebody resent somebody for being naturally talented if they had to work as hard as they did?
Right.
Resent the whole time, bro. resent.
He said
I'm
resent
serious,
the whole
bro.
time.
Nah, bro. Some motherfucker's just talented and just got like an easy layup, right? Fuck him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like you can't like how you gonna say fuck them if like they had no control over it? It's just not like some things come naturally to people. Other people have to work
Keep
hard
your
to
complaints to yourself, buddy. I'm sorry, I'm not here to listen to this shit.
it.
Nah, but I think Asuka just like she has nothing else for her.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
she basically decided to like, you know what, this is gonna be my thing and this is gonna be my thing only, and I don't want nobody to, to take that away from me.
She made her
While
job her
Shinji,
personality
yeah,
or
while Shinji on
her
the other
identity.
hand, it's just like, well, I just want my dad to love me. And
Yeah,
Ray is Ray. I guess that's kind
I
of
think
almost the same thing.
Asuka understands what's like at hand, right? She
Mhm.
Yeah.
understands like the impact, right? Or like the severity of the situation, right?
Hmm.
Shinji, I mean, I don't blame him, bro. Like he's a neglected child who's
Yeah.
constantly abused by his father and neglected, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, and so he's like more concerned with his like he had high expectations when meeting his father and developing a relationship, and he never got that. So he's definitely fixated on that,
Hmm.
right? But Asuka, on the other hand, understands that, hey, we're near the end of the world. We got these angel things that are trying to destroy us, right?
Right.
So, and Ray's so far just a mysterious character. She doesn't say much. She has a. We all know if you've seen the series, right? You know that like she's a clone of the mother. But yeah, I shouldn't have spoiled that. My bad.
It's
Are
there.
you good? We said
You
spoilers.
see it. There's a scene of it. There's a scene of it where you see when they're having dinner.
Yeah, they
Uh,
allude to it. They
yeah,
foreshadow. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's like okay, that makes sense. And again, whenever in the beginning you heard that there's two names. If it's a boy, I want it to be Shinji, and if it's a girl, I want it to be Rei.
Mhm.
Like it's right there. It's kind of it
and
makes all the sense in the world. I'm pretty sure Shinji didn't know that.
yeah.
So he doesn't know at all, obviously.
Yeah, he
But
definitely
like
doesn't know.
I at least like saw it way beforehand. I was like, wait a minute, Ray. Okay, now it makes sense. It makes total sense. Like, why would I go around it? And the reason why he's so close to her, well, not close because I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of crazy experiments and shit's going on, but
Mhm.
how he reacted, like, hey, what was it that she said when they were in the dinner?
Oh shit,
That
I
was
can't
about the
remember
dinner,
now.
right? Like, do you want to go? Do you want to eat with your son or something like that? And she said, like, yes, because like, her mother, well, his mother said, that like whenever she left or whatever, to make sure to take care of
Take
Shinji and
care.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing it was probably something going around that area.
You know what's
So,
even worse though?
mhm,
Dr. Ikari already had like this plan in motion, like for like the last 13 years or
Mhm.
14 years. So like
mhm.
he really didn't have any intentions of taking care of Shinji, even though she asked him to. I guess he felt guilty. He just felt guilty.
Was
But
it guilt
Yeah,
or was it just like he just didn't like every? For me, it seemed like it was every time he saw him specifically, it like reminded him of her.
that might be it, and he just felt pain. Then yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
because like
I
there's
could.
like I feel like yes, he cares for Ray. Well, I don't know if he cares for her, but it seems like he cares for her. But it doesn't seem like it's a like a father daughter relationship. It seems like a little bit more than that. And so like I feel like there's a disconnect from
Mm,
him to Ray versus him to Shinji. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. I totally see what you mean.
And so
maybe I don't know. I don't.
that's what it just seems like. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but
I can tell you something that's definitely different about the first movie from the second is Shinji's overall character.
mm,
Uh, he
Yeah.
seems less willing to please. Like if you remember in the first movie, he was just like he didn't want to be a bother, right? He was feared of being rejected,
Mm,
so he was less likely to say no. He was just willing to say yes to everything. He was a yes man,
mm,
right.
right? In fears of being rejected, so he would do anything to be accepted. In this
Right.
movie, it seems like he was more willing to like disagree with characters such as like Masato, Asuka, his friends, right? Like, he was
mm.
willing to He was a lot more open of a person, and he was a little bit more honest with his like emotions.
Yeah, he felt more comfortable to actually be. So he felt like he could get out of his shell, even though it's like not really a positive thing. But he felt like he had the comfort to be able to say those things.
Yeah, he built enough like social relationships where he's like, okay, guys, I'm not
Yeah,
that afraid of losing. Well, he still was, but like not as much.
right.
The only thing that set him back was when he was like forced to turn into like Dr. Ikari forced the Ava,
Mm,
Right.
Unit 1, right, into autopilot mode, right?
Hmm.
bad
And
stuff.
Dude,
and then it was tough.
my
And then he
gosh.
like thought he crushed Asuka, and then he
Hmm.
just fell like into despair. That
But
was a moving scene.
yeah,
That was a
it was
moving
it was
It
basically
was
like
moving, but go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
were
I'm sorry.
happy, sicko. You're a
yeah.
sicko, bro. You're a sicko.
No,
Nah,
like
it's he
You're a
climbed
sick.
up to this emotional like state, and then he suddenly went way farther down than how he started in the beginning of the movie. It was a complete up and down. Like he went from like this, like I want to save the world, to like, you know what, fuck all this shit. I'm not gonna lose anybody else.
no,
And
but
it
like
caused what it caused, him going, overboard, and then probably causing the next like the like another impact or whatever. Another chance of ending the world.
mm,
It's like it just got flipped all the way upside down. It was a roller coaster of like emotional roller coaster for me.
mhm,
To his credit, he like his hand was forced when he like when the world was crumbling around him.
mhm.
Yeah.
Uh, and like he saw the what was it? Was it Ray? And what was the other one? What's her name?
Oscar.
Asuka?
No, not Asuka. Asuka like was
Oh, you mean the glasses girl?
yeah. What's her
I
name?
forgot her name.
I
Forgot
can
her
never
name.
remember her name.
Yeah.
She didn't create an impact on me.
Well, uh, she has as like as a side character, like she just appeared out of the blue, and
But speaking on that, the autopilot scene, that was for me. That wasn't the emotional like wrenching part. It was as soon as he got his autonomy back, so he got control over
If
the
it was
Ava.
it. Yeah.
He put his foot down. Basically, you guys aren't going to treat me like this. And then they
Right.
just cut the foot out from him. They said, "All right,
Yeah.
shut the
They
shit down,"
forced him out.
and just boom, like that. That's where it hit me.
that
It was
helplessness, man.
yeah,
Oh my god.
like you're standing up for yourself finally, and then they just cut that shit right out from under you. It's like fuck.
Imagine if he actually went berserk right there. Oh my god.
That was another thing.
Low key, I wouldn't be mad.
See, that was another thing I was mad about. I was like, all
But
right,
when you
so
think about it,
at what
if it
point
wasn't for that,
does the Ava take over?
yeah.
Like, because the pilot stopped, autopilot got engaged. If they had this autopilot engaged, why didn't they engage it the first time when the Ava went out of control?
Mhm.
Like, there's so many questions I have off of that.
I think his heart wasn't really in it that time.
Neither was he in the
Character
first
where
one.
Yeah, well, yeah, but compared to that and afterwards going berserk, his heart
Hmm.
wasn't really in it.
then when he came back to save the day, that's when his heart was in it.
Yeah. That is shit, man. I love that. Dude, you can
Was it?
see, I'm telling you, you can see
They
where the money came.
predicted the third impact happening. That was
Oh
the
yeah,
weird.
they had all that planned. Like they were waiting for the awakening, and then that's what happened.
It's
Hmm.
like he wanted that to happen though.
Yeah. And when
Maybe.
that dude comes from the sky at the end, he said that I'm trying to save you from doing this again. Is it because like there's like a time loop or something?
I don't
Don't want
know.
to say too much.
My bad.
So
And it just
with
felt
her,
kind of weird. It's like, why is he saying that? It's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm here again. I'm gonna
so
make
the
sure. Like, it was weird. It was just, ugh.
for the fourth pilot that we keep failing to like identify, her name is Mari Makanam.
Thank you. For some reason, I knew it was with the M, but I didn't know how it was. I was about to call
Yeah,
him Makima.
I didn't want to call her Misato because I know the other character's name is Misato.
Yeah,
That
and
would have
she's
killed you if
from
you
the
heard that.
European division, right?
Yeah,
European division where they use English speak. Okay, no, they were infiltrating something else. Never mind. Got it.
was she from Seal? Because
I
there's
think,
Seal and there's
Yeah,
Nerf. Okay,
yeah. I think it was
yeah, I
Seal
think it was Seal.
because they're part of Nerve.
Mhm. That's like what, like the
American version of
CIA
it.
to the FBI.
Yeah, or I don't know what the Secret Service for
Is it
Japan is.
KGB? It's the KGB to our CIA.
Okay, that makes
KGB
sense.
is
That's a better way of putting it.
And then what is it? MI6 is
M16 or
Europe.
is it M16?
MI6 is Europe, or not
Oh,
Europe,
okay.
London.
Are you depressed?
I just don't know
Yeah,
what
I'm depressed.
Japan is.
Ugh. That's gonna be actually some research I want to do. I don't see if Japan has like a special division for like stuff like that.
Oh, they most definitely do. We just don't know what it is.
Do you guys have anything you guys want to recommend or anything? Like anything to watch, to read,
What am I
Watch the
watching?
first half of Darling in the Franxx.
and that's it?
Yeah. You don't have to watch the second half. You can.
No, I'm gonna fully watch it just to see what actually Morg is talking about. Because if Morg actually saw something, then you know what? Then maybe he's right.
Well, I'm
guys are
still
in
looking
like
through it, so
How about you, Haash?
I've been reading Horimiya.
Mm.
hey, there you go.
Right?
go.
It's mad wholesome, it's mad cute. So if you're looking to something completely the opposite of
Of Goodbye Punpun?
Oisobi Punpun, I recommend Horimiya.
Read both at the same time so you can level out your
That's what I'm
emotions.
doing. That's what I'm doing, man. That's what I'm doing.
10 chapters here, 10 chapters there.
That's when he goes to Horimiya.
Yeah, bro. If you're trying to regulate your emotions, do that. Do that.
Man, you probably found the cheat code right there.
Yeah, probably. Shit.
In my case, watch Odd Taxi. Read Solo Leveling. Read Tower of God. If you guys haven't gotten into that, I'd probably say this for like a good while because it's just amazing writing. And yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, watch One Piece and be faithful to One Piece. Don't be a degenerate and a piece of shit like I am. Watch every episode individually and watch every intro and outro. And that's
Thank
about
you.
it. That's all I got.
With that.
Oh, you guys want to shout anything out?
Oh, shit. Hey, thank you for listening. Shout out to Holy.
Follow me on Better News Haash.
There we go.
Twitter.
Better News Haash. That's a no underscore, right?
No underscore.
Oh, and Haash is with 2 A's, by the way.
Yes.
So Better News Haash with 2 A's. And in my case, follow me at Ellie787 underscore on Twitter and Ellie787 on Twitch. You stream every once in a while, like every 4 days during the week. And yeah, that's about it. Sai couldn't be here with us. He had a situation. We love you, Sai. And that's it for the Otaku Fight Club podcast. Have a great day. Peace.
This movie kind of begins the departure from the original movies, and it shows us originally in the first part the scene with Maki using the experimental Eva to fight off the angel. And I love the animation in this scene. It was really cool. And honestly, in general, the animation is so refined in comparison to the original. And I love that animation in the original. So, like, it's cherry on the cake for me. Or icing on the cake, I guess. And the story does go over some similar points with Asuka joining the crew, being her regular tsundere self, as well as the ever so famous elevator scene and a few more things. Some small changes I really like are that there's more dialogue between Asuka and Misato, who kind of seems more like a big sister role in these movies as opposed to... She was kind of not cold to Asuka, but indifferent. She laughed at her a lot, and she still does do those things, but this kind of more grounded big sister role is really appreciated. I also really like Rei's motivations being more clear, with wanting Shinji and his father to be closer, and her wanting to be closer to Shinji in general. That really kind of just drives home why Shinji wanted to save her from the angel so badly. Because in the original, like, it almost seemed more like, he was just horny, Yeah, and I really like Maki's ability to push any Eva past its limit. I never really thought about that, and it made for some cool scenes and some really cool animations. But honestly, I'm not here to talk about that. The boys did a great job of that. I have two big issues, even though I really like this movie and the movie before it. One is really small. The other one is kind of annoying. The first one is Asuka is like kind of racist or xenophobic, and the other one is just weird child sexual content. But for the first one, throughout the movie, Asuka makes a lot of generalizations about Japanese people from a pretty uninformed place, which is fine because as a 14-year-old kid, if you don't know about someone or something, you're going to rely on the generalizations that you had. But my issue is that she kind of makes them sound like they're weak or like too refined or too meek. It's not really a huge issue, but it was annoying because she did that shit a couple times. And I was like, okay, I get it. She doesn't understand or doesn't like Japanese people. But the second issue, it bugs me with the original, and this doesn't really help it either. The older I get, the more the weird kid sex shit is just not cool to me. I first watched Ava as a teen, so I was probably like 16 or 17 when I first watched it. And it wasn't really as weird because it's like, oh, these people are my age. Yeah, of course, kids are horny at 14, whatever. But it is really weird for the presumably like young adult 18 to probably 25-year-old target audience to be subjected to so much sexual tension from child actors. There are like really weird close-ups of plug suits on the girls, and Shinji kind of is like magical sex guy when it comes to having any contact with any woman. He always has some type of tension with them, and it's very overt. And it's not as overt in the original with Kaoru, or even when Misato's boyfriend, whose name I'm forgetting, kind of flirts with him ever so slightly. Like, those were more tasteful, I guess, and it wasn't as overtly sexual, even though in general we kind of see like quote unquote gay shit as more inherently sexual. It just doesn't come off. They do a good job of being less unnerving. And it's just unnecessary in general. But yeah, those are all my points. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Thanks so much for listening if you somehow made it this far, and have a good one.